Hello, everyone, and welcome today to this Real Women, Real Purpose talk show. I'm Kathryn Yarborough, and I'm one of the hosts. I'm your host today, one of the two hosts of the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, the global facilitator of the On Purpose Woman global community, and I'm also the creator of my own business, the Manifesting Clients Academy. And I'm here today with Francine Juhlin. Am I saying that right again?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so proud of myself. Francine Juhlin is the warrior princess of personal change. Hello, 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 Francine. we're going to
Hello,
be
everybody.
we're going to be talking today about how joy is your birthright. Before we jump into that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I know Francine and a little bit about her past and what got her here, just briefly, because we're going to find out a lot more from her. I've known Francine for a few years on Facebook, and she has just been a light in my life on Facebook. And recently, in the last, I don't know, a few months, 6 months, I've gotten to know her through the On Purpose Woman Global Community, as well as we're in a Toastmasters Club together. So it's been really fun to get to know this person, Francine, who I met on Facebook, and to see who she is in. It's not quite 3D when we're on Zoom, but it's pretty close to it. So it's really neat. And what I've learned and what she shared with all of us is that she started on her personal growth journey without a roadmap. And we're going to find out what was going on for her before she started on that journey. And she was searching for a magic pill and discovered that you can't really find one. There isn't one. And she became a health detective for herself. And we're going to find out all about that as well. And so she now has a holistic approach, a whole mind body approach to healthy living, and experiences massive amounts of joy. I am so looking forward to finding out what Francine knows all about joy, because I can tell you I love joy and I want even more of it in my life. So, yay! I'm so glad you're here, Francine.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here. And you know, the funny thing about joy, you really don't know you were missing it until you find it.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. It's kind of like life is status
And
quo. And then when we find it,
yeah, you don't know what you don't know until you know it.
huh,
And yeah,
interesting.
and to me, back when I was looking for that magic pill, joy to me is if I lost 2 pounds. Even if I lost it because I had the stomach flu, oh, yes, I lost 2 pounds
Wow.
because I thought losing weight is what was going to make me happy.
Mm. So when
But
you
I
started,
found that it's so much more.
your personal change journey, there was a focus on weight. And I know there are lots of women out there who feel that way. I kind of feel that way when I get a client. I can kind of go, oh, yay. But that short term, that short little burst of good feelings, that's not joy. So
No,
let's start with, well, what is joy? And then we'll go back to the beginning.
joy, it's felt right here when your life is the way you want it to be, or at least you feel like you're on the right track to get where you're going. Joy, that brings joy to our lives. Joy is totally just living in the moment and finding happiness in whatever you're doing. So for me, joy may look like just getting down on the ground and playing with the dogs for a while. But
Mm.
for somebody else, it might be something different. Joy is a very personal feeling. And that's the one thing I didn't understand when I first started, is that life is all about how you feel, because I forgot how to feel because my military experience I had to be tough. I wasn't allowed to feel. I wasn't allowed to show my feelings.
Okay, so
So I
time out.
cut them
Let,
off. Yeah.
let's talk for a second here. And because I know a little bit about your background. When did you join the military? How old were you?
Oh, actually, I wanted to join when I was 17, but my mom wouldn't sign the paperwork. But that was okay because I still had 30 pounds to lose before they would let me in.
Wow.
So I lost the 30 pounds. And when I turned 18, I went and signed the papers. So I turned 18 in July, February 14th, 1983, I went to Navy's boot camp.
Wow. And how long were you in the military?
I did 10 years active Navy, and then I was missing aviation. I was missing the military experience. So I went into the Army National Guard and I stayed there for 12 years.
Okay, so 22 years in something related to military, some sort of military experience. And in that,
Yes.
you were basically trained to not pay attention to your emotions.
Right. Well, and it wasn't just that. I've been working for the Navy now as a civilian for 20 years.
Mm.
So it's that same mindset, the mission at all costs. You're not allowed to be a person. You're a part of the mission,
Mm.
which is necessary in that environment. But as I'm getting ready to retire and change my whole lifestyle, I had to really take a deep look at how I was living and realize that that mindset wasn't serving me anymore. But here's the kicker. I didn't realize it until about halfway into the change, about a year and a half. I was struggling just trying to lose weight because I thought that would make me happy. I
Mm.
thought that if I conquer this one thing I'd been trying to do since I was 8 years old, that I would finally be happy because the Navy told me I needed to lose weight. My family told me I needed to lose weight. I went shopping and realized I needed to lose weight because I couldn't find anything in the stores that I liked. I can I can I show you something? Give a
Yeah,
little visual.
yeah.
Before I learned how to be happy, to help the changes in my life, before I decided to get healthy instead of look for the magic pill to lose weight, this is what I took on a daily basis.
All of those are pill bottles. What was
They're
going
all
on
pill bottles.
what was going on that you needed all of that? That's a lot.
Well, I had surgery on my neck that didn't work out well, and that caused a lot of problems. I had chronic pain, serious digestive issues. I had depression, uh, allergies like you wouldn't believe. And now let me tell you that I healed 99% of it with food and reducing the toxins in my environment.
That's very impressive. So you are no longer using any of those pills.
This is the medication I take now.
What is that?
It's an empty
Ah,
bag.
oh, wow. Wow. That's a really big difference.
Yes.
Um, so Francine, you do not look overweight to me at all. Did you also lose weight in the process or did it become not important?
Yes. Well, I lost 90 pounds.
Holy camole.
I lost 90 pounds and I've kept it off for a year.
Huh.
Not only that, during the quarantine, when a lot of people were gaining weight, I lost 10 more pounds.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
you,
because I had more time to really concentrate on it.
wow. So you've really found your formula for yourself, if you will, something that you were seeking for your entire adult life, it sounds like.
My entire youth, I was the first 8-year-old on Weight Watchers.
Oh, wow. So you're most of your life since you were 8.
Runs in the family. Yes, runs in the family. And what I didn't realize all those years, everyone said the key to losing weight is push away from the table or put the fork down. That is not true. I was eating maybe 1,000 calories a day, but it was what I was eating because I have food sensitivities that were just totally getting my body out of sync and out of balance. So I wasn't processing my food properly. If I ate 2 to 3,000 calories a day, I was still malnourished because my body was not absorbing the nutrients properly.
How did you discover that?
And well, when the toxins build up in your liver, they have to go somewhere. My liver was so clogged up from, well, first off, I was an aircraft electrician and I spent half of my career bathed in jet fuel and hydraulic fluid and other chemicals and heavy metals. And then, of course, there was all the burn pits in Iraq that contributed to that. And then there was the bottle or two of wine a night and all the crap I ate and all the processed foods. And that all just clogged up my liver. So when the liver got so clogged up, that's the only way to describe it, with toxins, it started coming out of my skin. I developed a full body rash and my body was toxic. It was like having a great big infection all over my body.
Wow. How long did
So
that last?
it was about 3 months. The doctors kept giving me medicine that didn't work. They wanted me to get biopsies on the skin. And I just had this gut feeling it's not the skin. We've been through this before. I've had the biopsies before. I've had the rashes. I've had these lesions on my body, and nothing, no medicine ever fixed it. That's
And
when I decided
you were still taking that bag of pills of all that stuff.
I had already cut down at this point because I had already started making changes,
Oh, okay.
but I was still
Interesting.
taking my Veterans Administration doctor. I went to him and I said, Doc, I got rid of all my medication except one. I still take my tummy pills. And I even told him, do you know, I know that if I quit drinking wine, I wouldn't need them. And do you want to know what he told me?
Okay.
Jesus turned water to wine. Wine is good.
And in moderation,
So I
I'm
was a
sure wine is perfectly fine.
exactly, exactly. But he told a functioning alcoholic that wine is good. Woohoo! I can drink wine. Yay!
Wow.
When I quit drinking the wine, when I quit eating the processed food, when I went organic, when I started really paying attention, I went on an elimination diet and figured out now I know exactly what every food will do to my body.
Hmm.
If I start losing too much weight, I'll start eating a little white rice, and then I know when to stop eating the rice because my body tells me. If I love oysters and they make me break out in a rash, but sometimes I choose to eat them because it's a choice. I would have this evening of fun and I know I'm going to itch for a few days.
Hmm.
So it's all balance and it's all choices.
Hmm. And you did this detective discovery process on your own? Did you get any training and health training or?
Nothing, just a lot of research. I did, somebody suggested that it might be that the rash might be from leaky gut. So I
Mm-hmm,
started researching that. And that's where I found the elimination diet.
mm-hmm.
After 1 week eating nothing but carrots, what was it? Carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower cooked, bone broth. That was it for a week. And the rest started going away. I'm like, okay, I'm on to something here. And
Yeah.
that's, and then I added boiled chicken to it. You know, after a week of eating nothing but cooked vegetables, boiled chicken's good.
I can imagine. Wow.
But then,
Yeah.
slowly I just started eating more foods in, and now I've got it. I also, into this process, I found an acupuncture doctor who's also a nutritionist. So she also helped me really zero in on what's good for my body.
Oh, that's
I
good.
wouldn't I wouldn't suggest this diet for just anybody, but for somebody who has all these weird ailments that the doctors can't explain, and the more they try to get better, the worse it gets, and they take one pill that causes them to take three more because of side effects. That's the person who should probably discover what food sensitivities they have.
Mhm. Okay. So, wow. All right. So we've got a sense of where you were and that you made this transition with what you were eating, and you've had this massive transformation. Where does the joy come in?
The joy comes in feeling good. When you lay your head down on the pillow at night and you just fall asleep and you sleep all night,
Oh, wow.
and then you wake up in the morning when the alarm clock goes off and you don't hit the snooze, you just jump up happy and ready for the day because you feel good. when i was when
Mm.
I was taking all that medication, I didn't have that feeling. The laying in bed and trying to get comfortable because everything hurt, and then worrying about everything that else that was going on. And then it's time to go to work in the morning. Oh my God, I hardly slept. I don't feel good. I'm sorry, but there's this fly.
We have a visitor, huh?
Yes, I have a visitor. But just the joy comes from feeling good,
I can
and
imagine. Yeah.
being able to do things again. I was a dancer, and I wasn't able to dance, and now I'm able to dance again.
Mm, mm.
And it, it's hard to explain to someone who's never really felt it. Now I know you have, because I could see it in your face every time we meet. I know you feel it, but I also know there's other people who don't.
Who haven't
There's
felt the joy.
who haven't felt it, or haven't felt it in a long time,
Mm.
or thought they were joyful before, but just didn't know how much better it could be.
Yeah. Interesting. So, so you want to wake people up to the possibility of how much better their
Yes.
life could be.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. And it's really a mindset shift more than anything, because losing the weight didn't do it. Getting healthy and getting off the medication didn't do it. I needed that mind shift, that mindset shift, to realize that I have a lot in life to be thankful for. My life might not be everything I want it to be right now, but there's still so much to be thankful for. And the more I'm thankful, the more things that happen for me that make me want to be thankful for.
You're so adorable, Francine. It's like
Oh,
you
thank
just
you.
are like beaming this message. I love that you're the warrior princess of personal change. How, where does that title come from?
Well, when I realized that, I had lost probably about 75 pounds, and I stopped taking the majority of the medication, and I still wasn't really feeling it. The joy and the happiness that I thought I would when I did that. So I did hire a mindset coach.
Hmm.
And after listening to me, he told me I needed to get in touch with my feminine side, because I had totally lost that between the military and working in quality assurance with quotas and numbers and charts and graphs, and not working with the feelings, and the feeling, what not letting my feelings guide me, trying to make my brain guide me. But your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your brain is designed to stabilize your environment. Your brain's not what's going to feel the joy. It's your inner being that feels the joy. And my brain and my inner being were completely disconnected, completely. And I had to get them back in touch. So I said, okay, you're telling me to get in touch with my feminine side. How do I do that? And he said, think back to when you were a kid. And arts and crafts came to mind. And he suggested I do a 3D vision board. And if you haven't heard of a vision board, a lot of people get a piece of cardboard and they put cutouts from magazines of things they want in their life so they could look at it and remember it and keep it in the forefront of their heads. Well, he told me a 3D one is something I could just sit on my desk and always have there in front of me. So I started thinking about when I was a kid, my feminine side. I like flowers. And this is what evolved from getting in touch with my feminine side and doing some arts and crafts and remembering when I was a kid. And I've got this, and it's just not going to sit on my headset right now, but I've got this crown. So I'm a warrior from being a soldier and a sailor and an aircraft electrician. And this made me the princess, getting in touch with my feminine side. And I had such, oh, that's okay. It felt like it was going to fall off. But I had such fun doing this. And I made a bunch of videos about the process and what I was thinking while I was doing it. And this whole new feeling evolved from that one little project. And I've been building on it every day since.
Hmm. Wow. So I'm curious. I know you're in a transition with work that's coming up.
Yes.
Are you planning on inviting other people to become warrior princesses of personal change, or are you the only one in existence ever?
Well, that is my special name.
Okay.
and and her special name is Rachel, which also has a story if anyone wants to hear it some other time.
Okay.
But I am inviting people to become personal change warriors. Make up your own name. Make up
Hmm,
your own princess name that means something to you,
hmm.
because not everyone's a warrior princess. At least I don't think so. But we're all personal change warriors.
Yes, and it's interesting. I don't know where you're from. Warriors. I've heard you say it before. It can sound like worriers,
Yes.
WORRIER, or however you spell
Yes.
that, versus warriors.
Right.
Warriors. I know it's tricky. Personal
Yeah, it
change
is.
warriors. So maybe we need a gesture. I'm a personal change warrior, and but it's still
Yeah.
it's a tricky thing. So, but I appreciate it. I will take that on. I am a personal change warrior. I've been on my personal change journey for 30 something years. I am definitely a personal change warrior. I am with you, Princess Francine. Right. So, how can people stay connected with you, Francine, if they're adoring you as much as I am?
Well, I guess I should say that I started this change because I found essential oils. And the essential oils is really the catalyst for the change and a tool I use that helped through the process, especially the eliminating the toxins part. So I have a Facebook page and it's called Francine's Oil Tribe. And I do trainings on mindset and oil use and how to find your joy again.
Okay, so Francine's Oil Tribe
Oil Tribe on Facebook.
on
Yes.
Facebook. So go to Facebook, type in Francine's Oil Tribe, and follow or like her page, whichever option is there.
Yes.
Francine's
Hmm.
Oil Tribe, if you want to stay connected with Francine. And so I assume you also sell the essential oils.
Yes, I do, but you don't have to buy them to come into my group, or
Right.
well, not group, my page. You don't have to be a customer.
Okay. So I'm curious because it sounds like they were really important for you said the elimination process when you went through the
Yes,
elimination diet?
because well, even before that, I've been with the oils for about 5 years now. And I
Hmm.
started eliminating the toxins in my household because of all my allergies that were so bad.
Hmm.
So I used, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, bubble bath, laundry soap, all of the household items that we use. Even some of the medicines I use on my dog are natural doTERRA medicines.
Really?
And
I didn't know. So
yes,
doTERRA, for people who are not familiar, it's a company that Francine represents and she can sell oils. I didn't realize they sell
yes.
things like house cleaning products and
Oh, yes.
deodorant and stuff like that. Oh,
Yes,
I didn't
all
know.
of that
I just thought
deodorant.
they just sold the little little things of essential oil. Huh.
No, um, just about every product we use, we use oils in our garden, so we know we have organic food to eat in our own garden.
Oh,
So we
wonderful.
use that for the bug control.
Hmm.
Um, there's a stuff we call it magic cream. It's called Correctex, and it's like similar to Neosporin, but it doesn't have the petroleum in it. Neosporin is petroleum based, which is
Right.
eventually
That's the stuff
toxic.
you put on when you get like a cut or something, right?
The
You want to
cuts, right?
an antibiotic kind of or whatever on it. Okay. But you've got something for
Yeah,
that instead.
I got
Oh,
that correct. We call it miracle cream in our house with the 3 dogs and the 2 of us being accident prone. We go through a lot of that and it is amazing stuff. The dogs know now if they cut themselves, they come to me and I squirt it in their cut.
oh, that's
And
so
then
sweet.
there's two other products I use on the dog too. Adaptive is for the stress and anxiety, and I have one very anxious dog, and we probably would not have picked him up from the pound if it wasn't for that oil because he
Oh,
was so anxious. But
oh,
that oil saved him, and we took him home. And then the other thing I use on the dog is the Digest Zen. I have an old girl. She's 10 years old and she just likes to graze in the yard and eat things she's not supposed to. So whenever I hear her tummy grumbling, I'll roll this on her belly and you could just hear it start to, and then she lets the air out.
oh, okay. I get that. All right. Oh, Francine, you are so adorable. Okay, so it's about time for us to wrap up. And
Oh
so
man,
much,
that was so quick.
I know, it's so quick. I have a couple more questions to ask you before we completely wrap up, though. If
Okay.
you met someone right now who was a beginner on their personal change journey, what advice would you give that person?
The very first thing I like to tell people is find something that you like doing. And whenever you get in that place where you feel like you're starting to get drained or frustrated or don't feel good, do that thing that makes you feel good. For me, it was getting out by water and watching water. And that was what started. And now I'm terrible with technology. If I start getting frustrated with technology, I'll get up and I'll go outside into nature or I'll go play with the dogs, or I'll just do something fun. And when you do something fun, it changes your brain chemistry, relaxes you. So when you come back, you have a different view on the subject.
What a simple, simple, simple thing to bring our awareness to. Thank you, Francine. As you were sharing that, this may sound kind of silly, but I started journaling when I was very young in my teens, and I journal every morning. And I do it because it's fun for me. And I also like getting out into the pool and being outside. But if I really enjoy journaling, and if it's a great reminder that if I start to feel whatever, I could probably
Mhm.
go outside and take my journal and write a little bit. And so thank you for that. And for
Yep.
people to find that thing, a thing that they can do, especially if they're new, because as
Yeah.
you
A-
pointed out earlier, a lot of people are stuck in misery, and it
Yeah.
can even be hard to find that thing, that one thing. So it could be a
Yeah.
journey to find that.
And that this misery will turn into this misery because this will cause physical symptoms eventually.
So find your joy, people. And Francine is
That's it.
gonna
Find,
remind you about that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So,
and I will help you find yours. I will help you find
oh
yours.
my goodness,
Help you figure it
you
out.
are on, you are committed to helping people
I
find
am.
their joy. So
Yes.
yeah, so connect with Francine on Facebook at Francine's Oil Tribe, right?
Yes.
Francine's Oil Tribe. And so you can stay and be reminded by Francine to find your joy. It's beautiful. Anything else that you want to say before I've got a few thoughts before we say goodbye to everybody. Anything that you want to add?
I just want to say that the better it gets, the better it gets. So if you feel like you are as low as you could go right now, you have nowhere to go but up.
Mm, that's beautiful, Francine. And since I've known you and gotten to know you even better on these Zoom calls in the last several months, I can't even imagine you feeling bad. So another conversation, you might want to enlighten me if you actually, if because you just seemed so joyful. So if you actually really felt crappy, I like, it's hard for me to believe that. I'm curious.
Well, I was in a doctoral program and I quit because it landed me in the hospital.
With depression. Yeah.
That was part of it, but it turned into a total digestive failure from stress.
Mm. So yeah, you had to be pretty miserable to have that experience.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not anymore. Yay for
Yes. Yay.
Francine, the warrior princess of personal change. Thank you so much for joining
But
us.
thank you.
When you were going to say something, finish your thought, Francine.
Oh, well, now I just want everyone to know that sometimes the things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And now in retrospect, I am so happy that I did not achieve that goal because I know now I didn't want to teach in the corporate world. I didn't want to be in change management, and because that's what I was studying in my doctoral program was change management. I didn't want to do that in the corporate world, but my body told me to stop doing that, and I'm just so much happier now.
Yay. Yay. So listen, look, we need to listen to these things. So thank you so much for that message, Francine. And thank you everyone who's joined us. Please share your thoughts, your questions, your comments below, whether you're watching us live or in watching the replay, share them because Francine wants to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're thinking and feeling and what Francine is sharing here landed for you. And tomorrow, Jenny Robertson, the other host of this Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, will be back live in the On Purpose Woman magazine and global community Facebook page, interviewing Carla Johnston about the wise woman's path to a nourished life. So isn't that interesting? Back to back with what Francine's talking about, which is really about a nourished life. And Carla's going to share her perspective. I think she might be a nutritionist or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what she has to say. There's a list of all of our Real Women, Real Purpose talk show topics in the July-August issue of the On Purpose Woman magazine. If you have not yet read it or you want to read it again and see what those topics are, go to onpurposewomanmagazine.com, onpurposewomanmagazine.com. And if you loved this interview, please share it with your friends. You'll also find this interview and all of our past ones on YouTube. We're posting them there. We have a channel. It's the On Purpose Woman Global Community YouTube channel. So go to YouTube, type in On Purpose Woman Global Community, and subscribe to our channel so you'll get notifications about the new interviews as they come. If you weren't able to join us live, you can watch the replays. And I will be back on Monday, the 26th of July, just in a few days, to interview Elizabeth Pap Stinson about how your trauma stories don't have to define you. So I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.